Macmillan Audio presents A Gathering of Secrets by Linda Castillo. Read for you by Kathleen McInerney. There is some soul of goodness in things evil. Would men observingly distill it out? Shakespeare, Henry V. Prologue. She didn't sleep. Hadn't slept through the night in a long time. There was too much darkness, not the kind that was restful. At dawn, when her mam peeked into her bedroom and told her it was time to feed the animals and get ready for worship, she was already awake, waiting, ready. Ever the obedient daughter, she pulled on her dress, tugged her hair into a bun, and covered her head with her cap. Stepping into her winter tights and sneakers, she left her room and took the steps down to the living room. She avoided the kitchen, where she could hear her mam clanging breakfast dishes and frying sausage, and went out through the side door and into the cold. The morning was wet and gray, drizzle floating down from a sky the color of iron. Once in the barn, she tossed hay to the horses, filled their water buckets, dumped scratch into the chicken feeder, and gathered 6 brown eggs. She'd never lied to her parents, not once in all of her 17 years. But when Mam told her to get cleaned up for worship, she complained that she'd been sick and throwing up half the night. Mam wasn't pleased that she would miss such an important day, but what could she say? Morning chores complete, she went back to her room and lay down on her bed. She stared at the ceiling and listened to the sounds of the house, the voices of her younger siblings, the scrape of silverware against plates, the silence while the Gebet nach dem Essen, or prayer after meal, was recited. The slamming of the door when her Dot went out to harness the buggy horse, the pound of feet on the wood floor when the little ones went out to help. Oh, how she would miss them. At 7:30, the back door slammed. A few minutes later, she heard the clip-clop of the old standard-bred's hooves against the ground. Rising, she went to the window and parted the curtains to see the buggy moving down the lane toward the road. Time to go. It was a cold morning, well below freezing outside, but she didn't bother with a coat. Pushing open her bedroom door, she stepped into the hall. The lingering aromas of toast and coffee and kerosene from the kitchen heater comforted her as she descended the steps. She thought about her little brothers and sisters, and the pang of melancholy that assailed her nearly sent her to her knees. She'd known this would be difficult, but she also knew it was the only way. She'd asked God for guidance after all, and he'd sent her a sign. Unlike her, he never, ever lied. At the base of the stairs, she went left, through the kitchen, trying not to notice the still warm cup of tea and dry toast her mam had left. The sight of it made her smile. Dry toast and tea were her mam's cure-all for everything that ailed the world. If only life were that simple. I'm sorry. The words echoed inside her head as she crossed through the mudroom, pushed open the back door, and stepped into the early morning drizzle. She didn't feel the cold or wet as she ran down the stone path to the barn. Shoving open the big sliding door, she walked into the dimly lit interior. The aroma of her dad's pipe tobacco mingled with the earthy smells of horses, alfalfa, and damp earth. The hay wagon was parked against the wall to her right. Her dad...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?